welcome to Financial Aid 101, presented by the High School and Community Outreach Office at Santiago Canyon College. My name is Erica Lehman, and I will be presenting general information on financial aid. So what is financial aid? Essentially, financial aid is stackable money designed to help students pay for their college education. And this pyramid demonstrates what financial aid students are eligible for as long as they submit an application. As we move through the pyramid, the eligibility criteria will change. Starting from the bottom, all students will qualify for the California College Promise Grant, and this kicks in at the community college level. Then we move into the Pell Grant, California grants, scholarships, loans, and finally mom and dad, because essentially we don't want to rely on them when we have other forms of financial aid to utilize first. So who can apply for financial aid? There are two financial aid applications that differ slightly. Students with a Social Security number or a permanent residency are eligible to complete the free application for federal student aid, commonly referred to as the FAFSA. Students who are undocumented, have valid or expired DACA, those with TPS status or U visa holders are eligible to complete the California DREAM Act application so long as they are AB 540 eligible. And if you have questions about AB 540, be sure to contact your SEC representative. All students completing a financial aid application must be a high school graduate or a GED holder. They need to be applying to complete an eligible degree or certificate program, as not all institutions are accredited, and males between the ages of 18 and 25 must register for selective service. Students need to maintain satisfactory academic progress because they need to complete a financial aid application each year that he or she plans to be in college. There are three types of financial aid: free, earned, and borrowed. Free means that students do not need to repay the money that's awarded to them, and this comes in the form of grants and scholarships. Students who indicate that they are interested in being eligible for a work-study program may earn money to help pay education expenses. Loans, or borrowed money, are used to offset the cost of education expenses and must be paid back either 6 months after completing a bachelor's degree or immediately, depending on the type of loan. As a reminder, scholarships is money that you do not have to repay. The criteria varies for each scholarship, so if students perform things like community service, if they receive good grades and high test scores, they may be eligible for scholarships. Listed here on the right are some sites that offer scholarships. And please be aware of scams. You should never have to pay to apply for a scholarship. The Middle Class Scholarship Program provides undergraduate students with family incomes and assets of up to $184,000 a scholarship to attend a UC or a California State University. The eligibility criteria is students who have less than 40% of their UC or CSU fees covered by grants and scholarships. They need to be enrolled at a UC or a California State University at least half-time, and they need to be completing their first undergraduate program. And just a reminder, those incomes and assets must be less than or equal to $184,000. The UC maximum award amount is $5,098, and the California State University maximum award amount is $2,298. So, essentially, there's just one important deadline when it comes to submitting your financial aid application. For the FAFSA, the priority deadline is going to be March 2nd. And guess what? The DREAM Act application is also March 2nd. And the reason why we have the same deadline is these are hard deadlines. There's no priority consideration for certain programs like Cal Grants and middle class scholarships after the deadline has hit. So, students are still able to submit the financial aid applications after the deadline, but essentially we want to keep in mind that priority consideration, so the goal is to submit prior to the deadline. Here's what you need to get started: both the parents and students' 2019 tax return, and the student and parents' 2019 W-2 forms. We need these W-2 forms because essentially we need to report the income of both Parent 1 and Parent 2 if they are married or living together. We also need the Social Security number for parents and students if applicable, permanent residency card, and then we also need parent demographic information like the name and parent's date of birth. We also need to know the date of the parent's marital status. So this would be the month and year that the parents got either divorced, separated, or married. Here are the steps to apply for financial aid. For the FAFSA, students need to create the FSA ID first because the student's information will populate into the application, and trust me, it's so much more convenient to only do this once. Please also keep in mind that parents will need to sign the FAFSA as well, and they'll need to create an FSA ID if they have a social security number. So once we have that FSA ID, students will be able to log into the FAFSA to complete the 2021-2022 FAFSA application. For the California DREAM Act application, students will need to log on to dream.csac.ca.gov, and they'll need to create an account to also complete the 2021-2022 California DREAM Act application. Once the FAFSA or California DREAM Act application has been processed successfully, the California Student Aid Commission will contact you either via email or a letter in the mail that you have or have not been selected for a California grant. Either way, you need to make that Web Grants for Students account to indicate which school you plan to attend in the fall in order to solidify your financial aid package. And be sure to check your email. Some universities and colleges will need students to submit additional financial aid documentation. So I usually recommend students to create an email specific just for college applications and financial aid. That way, if you check it once a month, you won't miss anything. I've also listed the location and web addresses for the financial aid applications at the bottom of this screen. Selective service. So most males between the ages of 18 and 25 must register for selective service. If a male is 17 and 3 months, he also will be able to register. FAFSA applicants can apply directly on the FAFSA application. They just need to indicate that they would like the FAFSA application to register them. Our DREAM Act applicant males need to fill out a paper application, and this can be found at the local post office, and it will be sent through the mail. The IRS data retrieval tool. It's the only on the FAFSA application, and it automatically imports tax information from the IRS. So helpful. And while it's easy and very accurate, it's a little bit finicky. You need to make sure that you're entering your address exactly how it appears on your 2019 tax return. So if you've moved or if you used a period to indicate your street, you need to make sure that you're checking that because it is that specific. Keep in mind that the one thing that the IRS data retrieval tool doesn't automatically link is Parent 1 and Parent 2 separate incomes. So again, we're trying to use that W-2 information so that we can enter that into the FAFSA. Parents will need to provide their FSA ID information as well. So this is another reason why it's super helpful to create that FSA ID prior to starting the application. Also, you can choose not to use this tool. It's not required to complete the FAFSA. Here's the financial aid timeline. So between October 1st and March 2nd, students need to be submitting their FAFSA or their California DREAM Act application. And most schools will submit the GPA verification, but again, make sure you check your email because if that's needed, most likely institutions will be contacting you via email. And then students will be receiving an email right away letting them know their expected family contribution on that student aid report. From February to March, students will receive a California Student Aid Report via email or a letter in the mail to create their webgrantsforstudents.org account. Also, please note that some private universities or colleges may require additional follow-up, so again, making sure we check our emails. If you're a graduating senior, please consider attending SEC. SEC offers free tuition to all first-time students regardless of income through our SEC Promise Scholarship. Additionally, SEC was ranked number 3, a community college in California. Pretty cool. Students are eligible to receive 2 years of priority registration for 2 years through the Early Welcome Program. This is ensuring students to get the classes that they need to complete their desired goal to obtain a certificate, associate degree, or transfer. Now we'll move into some frequently asked questions. So for the FAFSA, what do I do if I forgot my FSA ID username and password? If you have an FSA ID but do not remember your username, select Forgot Username. And if you have an FSA ID but you don't remember your password, go ahead and select Forgot Password. It'll help you reset your password. And note, if you verified your email address or mobile phone number during the account creation process, you can enter your email address or phone number instead of your username. Frequently asked questions. So who's my parent when I fill out my FAFSA? I encourage you to pause this video real quick and read through this graphic, as it's super helpful in indicating who is your parent when you are completing the FAFSA. Another quick question, if I made a mistake, can I correct my FAFSA? Absolutely. So when correcting your FAFSA, you can add or remove colleges from your application, change your email or mailing address, and essentially you can correct any field other than your social security number. To make corrections, please click Login, and then go to the home page, log into FAFSA on the web, and then you can click Make FAFSA Corrections. For the California DREAM Act application, what should I do if I've already submitted a FAFSA before learning that I should have submitted a California DREAM Act application? So, complete the California DREAM Act application first, and then complete the application conversion form G55, which can be obtained on the California Student Aid Commission's website, csac.ca.gov. Next, send the original completed form, along with proof of ID, to the California Student Aid Commission and contact the financial aid office at the college you plan to attend to inform them of this error. I recommend you make a copy of the form for your records. Another question, are temporary non-immigrant visa holders eligible to complete the California DREAM Act application? No, students who hold a temporary non-immigrant visa are not eligible to complete the California DREAM Act application. The exception is the U visa. How does my parents sign my application? Parents will sign your California DREAM Act application using a self-selected PIN. The PIN is a 4-digit number that can be used each year to electronically sign the application. Parents can apply for this PIN only after the student has completed the online application. Some closing remarks. Please check your email. You've received a Cash for College workshop resource guide for FAFSA and the California DREAM Act application. It has so many great resources to help you get started because we want you to start your application now. Please write down any questions that you need to ask us during your scheduled virtual Q&A session, and you can check your email for the Cash for College date for your school. Lastly, please help us continue to offer these free workshops by selecting SEC as one of your 10 school choices when completing your financial aid application. Our federal school code is 036957. And if you have any questions about the information presented in this presentation, please contact us at outreach@sccollege.edu or give us a call at 714-628-4808. And be sure to check out our Instagram. We make helpful posts about updates, how-tos, and helpful guides to help you navigate the high school to college process. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We look forward to helping you.